Howdy, folks. DaveMan here, Rollman Revolution. I have a question for you. Are you pissed yet? Are you so irritated, like I am, that every day that you wake up, every day that you turn on the morning news or you try to get updated on the situations occurring around the world, do you get to the point where you think the people that are leading you either don't have any idea what they're doing or they're playing games to the point where they don't give a rat's ass about you, your family, your livelihood, your safety, your country? Or do you think that these people are just misunderstood? We just don't see the vision that this Congress and Joe Biden and the predecessors before Joe Biden, do we just not see their vision? Or maybe is it that the vision that Joe Biden claims to have is a destruction of a nation? You see, I don't know at this point, and I listened to Megyn Kelly the other day, but I also was listening to just people out when I do polling at the local beaches where I live. And America is pissed. It's not just a normal, everyday garden routine irritation. No, we're talking about a rash that is so bad and so hard to avoid that it's eminent in people's lives every single day. What I struggle with is how everybody who is not in the group called Washington, D.C. isn't pissed right now. How are you, as an American citizen, not pulling your hair out from the consistent lies and bullshit that is forced down your throat every single day? Look, I don't care, who you voted for in the last election or how you identify politically. That stuff is idiotic at this point. If you are still thinking in terms of Republican, Democrat, I'm a libertarian, really, those things are words. Those things are boxes. Boxes are things that you as an American sovereign individual cannot be put into. This country is great for one main reason. You, me, we are what make this country great. And how did we make this country great? We made it by founding principles and following those founding principles and continuing on generation after generation after generation with those principles, with those morals, with that foundation. And this administration has completely taken what has gone on for 300 years and fudged it all up in a way to try to take their political opponent and put them in prison. Look, I don't think Americans have really lived life in hell just yet. You don't know what it's like to live in a third world country and worry whether or not you have power, whether or not the lights are going on and off throughout the middle of the night. You hear gunfire in the distance, bombs dropping, people murdering people in the street, cartel, gangs. Most Americans have no idea what a life like that is. Mexico just had an election. First female president ever elected in Mexico's history. But what the mainstream media isn't really talking about is the 37 candidates that were murdered during this whole presidential election process in Mexico. 37. Count them. 37. Now, would you like to live in a country in which 37 candidates are murdered, assassinated? Nobody with any value would ever run for office if they cared about their life. And you can see what's happening. People are getting to the point where, even in a country like Mexico, are so desperate for a hero, you can't get anybody of any decent caliber to step up because you have psychopaths and crazy son of a bitches running this world. If you watch my channel for any length of time, and I hate beating a dead horse because Americans are not the stupid. I don't understand why people love to argue about things they don't know nothing about. Look, I don't sit and argue with a friend at work about what's going on in baseball or the NBA or who that trade was on the football, because I don't know anything about that. That is not my area of expertise, and nor is it not my area of interest, but I wouldn't try to pretend to tell you that you were wrong about some kind of gambling odd thing, because I don't know what I'm talking about. But yet people, day in and day out, think that their politics, which they know nothing about, is the right way. Now, how is it that you know 100% without you are willing to risk your life and your family's life on the ideals and the morals that you have in your brain because of the party that you belong to, Democrat, Republican, whatever group you like to attach yourself with, you honestly think that you have the end-all and end-all and are willing to risk your family? Are you willing to risk your child or your husband or somebody in your life for the morals and the teachings that you're preaching? I bet you most people are not. Why? Because they really don't know deep down why they believe what they believe. They don't know deep down how they got to the conclusions that they have, especially if you're a person who still believes that Joe Biden is the greatest guy in the freaking world. I mean, if you are a person who's still in that camp and still has this unending hate for Donald Trump or any other candidate outside the realm of your party, I have news for you. You are a hypnotized fool. I know. People are going to write in the comments, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know. Okay, prove me wrong. The purpose of this channel and many of the other ones that are similar to this is that I'm trying to have a dialogue with people. I'm trying to get people to engage in the process again of conversation. See, too many times, even with the people that I live with and know and in my community, I will challenge what it is they believe and what it is they say. And the response I get is, I don't care. You believe what you want to believe. I'll believe what I want to believe. But in the world of reality, it doesn't work like that. It's not, I can just believe whatever I want to and then all of a sudden unicorn farts it into existence. No, it doesn't work like that. You work with the reality that you're in, and there's only one truth. It's not the truth that you believe, or I believe, or anybody believes. There's one. And the way you get to it is through consistent conversation and consistent pursuit towards that. This country lost something someplace. But the bottom line is that if you're not willing to fight fire with fire now, you're going to lose everything. The one thing these morning shows, like I've been getting back to, is if you're not pissed off yet, the one thing these morning shows reiterated this morning was everything they said that Donald J. Trump is going to do if he was to take office tomorrow. That he's going to go after everybody, all of his political opponents. He's going to go after the court system. He's going to go after MSNBC. He's going to go after everybody who made his life a living hell during this process. You know, it's funny. I was laughing. I was probably, the guy next to me in traffic when I was going to work this morning probably was going, that guy's lost his mind. But I couldn't stop laughing when I heard Joe Scarborough utter his bullshit on the morning show. He's a total potato head, and he has a side piece, Mika, who stands there like with their Princess Diana cut and just goes, yeah, you tell him, Joey, after she wrote the script for him. Okay? He's a meathead, doesn't know anything of what he's talking about, can barely utter a sentence without dribbling over his words. And he was sitting there saying that Donald Trump is going to do this and he's going to do that to me. Let me ask you this. Donald Trump's not going to do that. He's going to do what's in the letter of the law, because what you've done is you've opened Pandora's box now by manipulating the law to suit whatever it is you're trying to pursue. You give me the man and I will show you the crime attitude. That's what they did to Donald Trump. And if he gets into office, the MSNBC and the pundits that were going after him, like the Obama and Biden, Merrick Garland, Mayorkas, I mean, everybody within that cabinet, we're going to use the legal system to stack the evidence. And the evidence is overwhelming. And then we're going to present it to the American people. And you know what's going to happen after that? Public hanging, public hanging, public hanging, public hanging, public hanging. Because there is a law on the books for treason. Maybe you Democrats, and maybe the people within the Biden administration and those that support this tyranny should look into it. There is a punishment for those who betray their own nation and sell it off to another nation, all the while lying to the American people. If you don't think there's a consequence for those actions, I think you should be worried in 2025. As a matter of fact, you all should be worried. Very worried. Because there's no statute of limitations, as far as I remember, on murder. And Barack Hussein Obama is responsible for an illegal drone strike that took the lives of 3 Americans, including 1 child. That's called capital murder. And that's what they call an official act, because apparently President Trump can be held responsible for his official acts as president. So therefore, so can Barack Obama. And so can that old shit for brains called Joe Biden and his criminal family. That's right, including you, Dr. Jill. All of you are going to see the inside of a padded room in a court. Your lives. I have been saying this on this channel and all the chats. You have to, if you want to play this game, like Steve Bannon and many of the other people, you have to know how to throw a punch as much as know how to take one. The way this game works, it's the long game. I'm in it for the long game. You put the policies down now, and then you bring it back. You put a new policy and you bring it back. It's going to take a while. But while we're doing that, we're going to take the rot, the gangrene that has been infested in that cesspool, and we're going to slowly pluck it out and then clean it. Pluck that out and then clean it. It's going to be a long process because it was a slow drip for many, many years. And they slowly snuck their way into our beautiful house, beautiful country, and the laws that govern it. But you have traitors and tyrants, sellouts, who are sitting there right now. The current Congress is led by a tyrant, led by a traitor, led by a person who doesn't know how to use leverage and purposely gives the leverage away to his opposition. You see, all these people are sleeping in the same bed with one another. They all go to the same clubs. They all have the same hookers. They all embezzle the same way. Hunter Biden should be sitting before Congress right now. Hunter Biden should be answering for all the shit that's on that laptop. Hunter Biden should be answering, and Joe Biden, his big guy dad, should be answering for the communication that went back between the CCP, Russia. I love how they blame Trump for all the Russia stuff, where meanwhile, the mayor of Moscow, Russia, is giving Joe Biden millions of dollars. It's funny. Everything the mainstream media is worried about, they have been doing to Donald Trump right now. The only reason they weren't successful at getting Donald Trump on more things is because Donald Trump's a good guy. He doesn't commit crimes. He doesn't embezzle money. He isn't sleeping with Russian agents and CCP agents. That's why they didn't find anything. That's why they had to embarrass themselves with a New York City court that they had to stack and make up a fucking crime just to try to make that man look guilty. How pathetic. The Democrat Party is filled with pathetic people. Just look at the likes of like Jamie Raskin, a whiny little measly douche. You're going to tell me that's representation? That represents you, New Jersey? Maryland? That's what you want? That's your representation? By golly, you all need to stop sucking down all the meth. I'm telling you, something's wrong there. You can't be thinking that that man has anything. His father was a communist, a professed communist. And you can see what these people do. It's all a show to them. They don't care about you or me. But yet, they have no problems dividing you, telling you that I'm a racist and that person's a racist, and dividing everybody, putting everybody in boxes to screw us all up so that you and I can't communicate, so that you and I never communicate. Because if you believe that I hate you and I think all these things about you, well, why would you want to talk to me? If you believe that Donald Trump really thinks the things that the mainstream media has been proclaiming for the last 7 years, and you believe that all the things that they tell you are true, well, sure. Why would you like a person like that? I sure as hell won't. But the thing is that it's not true. And that's where you come in, where you have a responsibility as an American citizen to inform yourself, to get educated about what's going on, and then use that education to then ask questions of the people that think you're stupid. Those congressmen are sitting up there under the impression that you're not going to do a damn thing about it. And so far, they're right. We haven't done a damn thing about it. But that changes in 2025, which is the reasons why you can hear the Monday morning shows and all these morning shows, MSNBC, CNN, they are scared shitless. And they should be. You know why they are? Because Donald Trump said that he's going to finish what he started. Now, to many people on Joe Scarborough's side,
oh, God, he said that he's going to finish what he started. Oh, that means he's going to just destroy the country. He's going to rip up that Constitution. Isn't that right there, Miss Diana? Oh, you're right. You're absolutely right there, Joey. You tell him, Joe. You tell him, Joey.
That's what we got. That's what the morning show sells you. And then it's picked up by people that are a little bit more official, like Rachel Maddow's and Nicole Wallace's, the ones that, can kind of keep it together and don't sound like a drunk coming out of a 3 a.m. bar. Well, but Maddow is just reading the script of David Ignatius. Maddow is just doing everything that she is told to do as well. She is by far the senior puppet. She's the one where the hand is so far up the rear end that the head is being completely knotted. There's a few of those, and they basically set the agenda for everything else. Everybody else is going to be pushing for that day. But the only way this goes away, and Megyn Kelly said it, Steve Bannon's been saying it, and I have been saying this since 2021. Just after I discovered all of the crap that happened in the January 6th thing was complete and utter horse shit. Once I discovered it and started to see what they didn't want you to see, and the only way these people are going to get it is by punching back. You can't play this, we're gonna be nice. We're gonna write a mean letter. That's what Jim Jordan does. And they're doing this thing with Fauci right now. They got the whole hearings and whatnot. Do you think they're gonna do anything with Fauci? No, not this Congress. Oh, no. You need somebody to apply pressure. Like I said, these people don't understand how leverage works. And Mike Johnson just likes to give it away. Hakeem Jeffries knows he's safe because he's just around. He's the smartest idiot amongst all the other idiots. Yeah, he's the Barack Obama wannabe. They told him he's such a good guy, smart guy. You smart guy, you talk real good, you sound real good, man. You got what it is. You got the green eyes, nice tan. You just, just an absolute package, man. Like Joe Biden would say, right? Just got it all together. It's like an American. God, man, yeah, look how good he is. That's what I'm saying. Americans have got attracted themselves to these politicians that have to look a certain way, sound a certain way. But you don't realize that those are the people that are selling you out. I thought it was more about what a person does, not about what a person says. Do you really give a shit that your husband says he's not cheating on you, or are you happier that he is not cheating on you physically, what he's actually doing? It's more of what somebody does that's more important than what somebody says. Because people say crap all the time. But what did he actually do? Donald J. Trump, promises made, promises kept. He was the only president that did. And the reason why the Russia, impeachment 1, impeachment 2 occurred was because he was making headway in the deep state's plan to slowly manage the decline of the country, which is what they have been doing since the inception of the Federal Reserve Act. Another thing that needs to be ripped out from American society is any centralized bank that tries to control the flow and currency of this nation. I don't know what anybody was thinking, or whoever was that Woodrow Wilson was thinking when he signed that into law. We have bimbos, morons, prostitutes, puppets, and people that you wouldn't hire in your own personal business leading us. And the only answer to this is you have to fight fire with fire. You have to find what those people hold dear, whether it be family, money, power, whatever that thing is, and you have to squeeze the life out of it and show it to them and say, do you get it now? We ain't taking this no more. A punch deserves a punch. And when you viciously try to ransack the American people, when they put their trust into you, no, that's treason. And every single one of you in 2025 should worry. Oh, damn should you worry. Because we're going to right the wrongs, but we're going to do it through the law. The law and the truth always sets you free. And that's the one thing these Democrats and establishment types, they hate truth. They hate exposition. They don't want their dirty laundry to be shown to the American people. They don't want you in the room. They don't want you in the know. I am so tired of the security, the lying. We're not sharing information. Look, the government works for you, not the other way around. What is this thing where the government, I get the information, and then they keep it for themselves? And they don't tell the American people about it. Who are they? That's what I'm saying. This intelligence service that we have is a rogue operation. The FBI, CIA, NSA, they all need to be reined in. Why? Because you can't give that type of open availability to an agency and then have no oversight over it. Do you have any black projects we have going on right now that take American taxpayers' money and then just give it off to these R&D, research and development, contractors? Billions of dollars that we have no oversight over. None. That shit stops. You have to put smart people that are actually thinking. You wouldn't run a business like this. You wouldn't run anything like this. And that's what's happening. And they don't care whether or not you or I, they don't believe you or I are going to do a damn thing about it. And I am recording videos and I am talking to people and I am fighting every single day because you know why? I'm trying to get you off your ass, out of that chair, and go out. There's a world. The world doesn't happen in these little devices. The world doesn't happen in your television. The world doesn't happen. The world is there. It's out there. They don't want you talking to me like I said, and they don't want me talking to you. They want me to hate you, and they want you to hate me. Because why? When you hate me, we don't talk, and then we continue to keep dividing. We are America. America first. We put all our bullshit aside to take care of the family called America. Joe Biden, his family's the CCP. It's the lord of easy money. They all are. They all behoven to this fake piece of paper. Geared up and created out of thin fucking air by the Federal Reserve. Now I want you to think about that. When the Federal Reserve came into play, I'm going to let you borrow this paper thing, okay? That I don't really have. It's not, I don't have, $1 million, but I'm going to give it to you. And then you're going to borrow that money and use it. And then the other person that you give it to, they're going to think that money is real because we've agreed that this money is real, okay? But I didn't exist. So I just put $1,000 or $1 million into your account. And then you go and spend it and then give it to that person. But now you have to pay me interest on the $1 million that I didn't even have in the first place. So the money you're actually giving, the wealth you're actually giving, we're actually giving real, tangible earnings to somebody who didn't provide anything. They just hit a keystroke on a computer and put money. And you wonder why our system, our world is upside down. The rich keep getting richer and the poor keep getting poorer. The classes are getting to the point where it's so uber wealthy and then there's just the peasants. And it's all by design. This is why I am out in the field every single day to try to wake people up. This is not trivial. This is real. It's real for me and it's real for the millions of Americans that are spending every waking moment doing everything in their power to ensure that Donald J. Trump gets another 4 years and that we remove the tyranny that has taken us from a all-powerful, dominant nation that used to be respected to a laughing stock and a joke. Look, we have a president that shits his pants, who doesn't know who he is, who has to have a script and then pans away, looks off into the distance. Hey, I think I see my son Bo out there. Again, it's sad and pathetic at the same time, but this is what they convince you is leading the country. When's enough going to be enough? When are you going to deliver the blow that stops the leadership that's destroying your state, your city, your county? When are you going to do something to stop the people that are trying to destroy the future of your family? I know it seems like, boy, I got so much on my plate. I got 2 jobs, Dave. I'm doing everything I possibly can. I know. I truly do. I know it sucks, and it never was supposed to be this way. But I can guarantee you that it will get inherently worse if we do nothing. Look, I lost my wife in this whole game. I have almost no reason to fight whatsoever. I have no stake in the outcome. I can give a shit less, right? It took the only thing that I cared about. But if I live my life like that, and say that it was only one person's life that's valuable, nobody else's, then who am I, right? No, we do these things not for ourselves. We don't do these things. We do these things for the future generations. We do these things for the people that we're handing this responsibility off to. And so far, we've done a shitty fucking job because we have allowed criminals to lead us, and we've allowed those criminals to get away with it. Look, Dr. Fauci stood before Congress the other day, and he's under no stress whatsoever. He doesn't care because he knows that he's protected, as they all are. And that's where it changes. That's where we start to they took the justice system and turned it against Donald Trump. They made up crimes to try to put a man in prison. And they may. So in 2025, we're going to look at that justice system again. But not only that, we're Hillary Clinton. A lot of times, dignitaries and public servants, they look the other way for them because, whatever. Especially like people who are related to presidents and whatnot. They shouldn't, but they have. But all that's changing. Hillary, Barack, Michelle, Mikey, Joey, Hunter, Jim, Jill, and the rest of the Biden family. We are even going to go back to good old Billy Clinton. And maybe some of the relationships that he had. And then we can stretch this out, because I think that when you start to put all of these people in the hot seat, like they did with Donald Trump, you're going to start to see people turn on one another. You're going to start to see people squeal, lie, cheat, because you know what? Amongst liars, thieves, and crooks, there's no unity. There's no team. You think Hillary Clinton gives a shit less what happens to Joe Biden? She'll throw his ass under the bus tomorrow if it would save her ass. That's just the way these people operate. But you see, Trump doesn't do that. Trump could have went and played golf and just took vacations and built golf courses overseas when he lost in 2020. And he didn't lose, but when they pushed him out, he could have just said, screw it. It's not worth it. I don't care. But he doesn't do that. He didn't do that. What is he doing? He's sitting in a court. He could potentially go to jail for hundreds of years. For what? For trying to bring America back to what it used to be? Trying to feel good about being American? To try to make an economy that works for both the people of this country as well as the geopolitical world? Yeah, I could see how that would be very upsetting to somebody who doesn't like to play by the rules. But there's all of us, and there's just a small portion of them. When we squish that and get that rot out, you're going to notice a country that was designed, set up to blossom, bloom, and thrive within the communities at large. We lost our morals. We lost our education. We lost our own identity. And they did it through the slow drip process of the mainstream media and this normalization. And the reason I know that to be true is because I will argue and debate with people, and they don't have any idea what they are talking about. And you could be one of them. And again, you have to check yourself before you wreck yourself. Like I said before, I don't know jack shit about basketball, so I wouldn't pretend to try to stand there and argue with somebody about it. But people do it with politics all the time. And it's only because, why? Your cognitive dissonance. You want to hold on to something so strong, even though it could be potentially wrong. Why? Because you don't want to be wrong? The goal is to get it right, not about being right. In a nation of ideas, the goal is to get it right. Not be on the right. Not be right. Or not taking credit for being right. The goal is to get it right. And the person who gets it right more often is the one we need to be putting at the helm. Donald J. Trump, like him or not, is a providential president. And if we don't start moving our ass now and punching back, well, there's not going to be a republic left. It's up to you. It's up to me. Because he can't do it on his own. And I wouldn't expect him to. He has taken enough blows for the American people. It's time for us to stand in the breach and start taking some for him. I hope to see you out there. I'm just getting started. And I hope you are too, because the more we share, the more we connect, the more we have conversations, they don't stand a chance. It's up to us. Let's get out there. Let's make change. Real change. The change we want for our future. I love you guys. Take care, and I'll see you soon. Peace.